Hello and welcome everybody. I'm Mary Beth at the Law of Attraction Club on the web at theloaclub.com. We bring you these hangouts on air with our friends Tara. This hangout is the summary of our theme for the week. It continues with our question and answers on our member conference call. You can get links to our open calls, which we do about once a month, and a free copy of our letting go process by going to theloaclub.com. So now we're going to begin our hangout on air, and we welcome Robin and our friends Tara. Over to you.
Welcome, as always, to our discussion. These are the questions many of you have. Am I the creator of everything? And how am I creating it? And sometimes all of this is very overwhelming. Where do I start? So let's talk about this world you're in and how you're creating it. And then let's move to the so what. In other words, for many of you, beyond the realization that you're a very big deal indeed, there's the practical consideration of understanding the mechanics of it all, the process of conscious creation, and then deciding where you want to go and knowing how to get there. And these are the things we'll be discussing today. We'd like to begin by talking a little about power. Now, we know that for many of you, while words like peace and love and joy and freedom are words that feel good, that word power doesn't have quite the same positive feel to it. Perhaps because you think of the way power is exercised in that world of yours. Let's see if we can change your relationship to that word, because we want you to know the power that you have, and that power is the very reason you exist, and that you can consciously and joyfully use that power in new ways to create new things. Here are some words from our friends. They're not using the word power, but that's exactly what they're talking about. From Abraham. In all waking moments, you are creating your own point of attraction, and everything that you experience is coming to you because of your vibrational emanation and the responsive law of attraction to that vibration. It is as if you are standing on a sort of spinning vibrational disc, and only things of the same vibration can join you on your disc. And from Bashar. Everything you experience is another aspect of yourself. You attract your life experiences through the interaction of your strongest beliefs, emotions, and actions. Anything you can imagine is possible for you to experience. Let's just say it very plainly here. You're a powerful creature. You're a powerful creator. You're in charge of it all. Everything. There's no person, no entity, no God, no karma, no past event, and no pre-existing condition that has any power to define or affect things in your experience, except that which you give to them or to those things by what you choose to believe about them. Every conscious entity you intersect with, including us, shows up within the boundaries you have chosen. Now, within those boundaries, a range of potential events can occur. That's the nature of your adventure called life on Earth. But they are your boundaries. What you believe about any particular thing what you just plain know about it is all there is to know about it. If you don't know about something, then it doesn't exist. Of course, if you think that something is possible, then that thought creates that possibility. Whether you subsequently line up with that possibility and thereby manifest it in your experience is up to you. From our friend Bentinho Massaro. You are never in a situation you don't want to be in. You might be in a situation you don't resonate with, but you want that experience so that you can know you don't resonate with it. You want it so that you can reveal to yourself your hidden beliefs and come out of it with greater clarity as to who you truly are as an individual. Before your mind leaps to that can't be right, let's explain that when Bentinho says you're never in a situation you don't want to be in, he means at a very fundamental level. In other words, you're never in a situation other than the one you created by what you chose to believe. You might be in a situation that you judge as bad and therefore doesn't feel good, but you're here in this game to create new things in this wonderful context of yours. At a deep level within you, you know that new choices are not only possible, but making those new choices is the very reason you're here in the first place. Those new choices are the way in which you create your new reality. So as you begin to appreciate the enormity of who you are, then the next question is, what? What do you want to change now? We suggest you start with small things. Don't get bowled over by infinite possibilities. Get your feet wet with some simple new earthly things, something like, make that meeting next week be something different than usual, and even something really special. Or something general like, being open to seeing and stepping through those doorways that are beginning to appear in front of you. Doorways that were always there, but were invisible. Then, as you gain confidence, you can move to creating a galaxy or two, or whatever you imagine you want. This thinking that you do is the creative force. The doing that you do is in many ways just a dog and pony show to help you with the believing part. Of course, you've created a physical space-time game to play in, and doing things is a part of being physical. Doing can be fun if it's inspired action, if it's in the flow and heading downstream. But fundamentally, it's not about doing. And it's certainly nothing whatsoever to do with working hard. If you've lined up with your desires, the road is easy. If you haven't, there's no amount of doing on the planet that can make it happen. So what's this lining up process we're talking about here? There are many ways to describe it. It's believing in it to the point of certainty. It's being now in the place of it, occupying the space of it without limitation and doubt. It's putting it in the tapestry of your expectations about reality. It's just plain relaxing into knowing it to be the timeless truth and appreciating it now. And by timeless, we mean moving beyond the thought that it's not here yet, knowing that it exists and experiencing it now. So now let's talk about how. How do you get to line up with those whats? You think your way there. It starts with accepting the truth of who you are and the power that you have and the truth about so-called reality. And we don't just mean intellectually understanding it, although that's the starting point. We mean being able to look at it regularly and ongoingly and declare it for what it is, a virtual reality created by you, maintained by you, and changeable by you at any time. Then you need to, once and for all, give up on the idea that you formed those beliefs from observing what is. That's totally upside down. Your beliefs do not come from observing what is. What is comes from your beliefs. The next step is commitment. It takes commitment to form new thinking habits. And as we've been discussing recently, when you drop into one world, real world mode, and you all do, you're practicing status quo. So we suggest that if you must be obsessive compulsive about anything in your life, make it the formation of new thinking habits. What on earth could possibly be more important? Make it your focus. And if you're going to practice new ways of thinking, then it has to be more than just a once in a while thing. It has to be a daily thing. And if you're committed and focused, you'll find it gets to be an hourly thing, and maybe also a weekly or a monthly thing. Find thought processes that work for you, because these are the things you'll build into your routines. Our letting go process, for example, is great for whenever you drop into feeling bad. Make part of your commitment that any time you're not feeling good, you'll stop and start heading in a new direction, because the direction you're going in is not taking you where you want to go. Then there are processes like our about face, which is good for doing at set times every day. We suggest first thing every morning and last thing every night. Get on regular rampages of appreciation. Get into regular quiet periods of meditation or channeling. Make part of your commitment that you won't get into doing anything before first getting into what do I want and why am I about to take action. Always start with the end result in mind. We're going to pause here a little. We want you to think right now about one end result you'd like to achieve. Okay, good. Now notice how you're holding it. Does it feel inspiring and achievable? Does it feel theoretical or lacking in energy? Does it feel distant and separated from you by a river of hows? Just acknowledge to yourself that how is not your job. Your job is what, and then lining up. And if right here and now you can't get into the exhilaration of being there, that's okay. Just commit to the process. It gets easier and easier as you practice it. So here's a suggested minimum daily routine. When you wake up, and last thing at night as your head hits the pillow, ask yourself, 1, what was the best thing that happened in the last 24 hours? Relive it and make it even better. Enjoy it all over again. And if nothing comes to mind, make it up. and feel the enjoyment you had in that alternate version of reality. Number 2, what's the best thing you'll experience in the next 24 hours? Anticipate it. Pre-pave it. Number 3, think of 5 things you appreciate. Savor them. And number 4, then do the about face process. And then there's 2 anytime things. Now, anytime things can be a little trickier to build into a practice because they don't happen on a fixed schedule and need to be triggered by how you feel. But you can do it. Just set yourself an intention to notice and you'll get into the habit of it. Commit to new habits. Commit to bringing that subconscious part of you along for the ride. Enroll that automatic decision maker as an ally in this change process. Let these become every time things. So 1, notice every time you feel bad and do the letting go process. 2, notice every time you're about to do something significant, particularly if it has that sort of work feeling to it, and start with the end result in mind. And here's a suggested weekly routine. Pick a day every week. Ask yourself, how did I do this week? What do I want now? And here's a wild idea. If you pick a Tuesday, Thursday, or Saturday, you can do it before our conference calls. And then you can check in with your progress report and any questions you have. Remember, put yourself first. These calls are for you. So there you have it. Twice a day, 4 quick things to do, and 2 every day, every time things. Now notice we said these were minimum suggestions. Notice also we gave you full permission to be obsessive compulsive about this. And if you are, you'll go way beyond our minimum suggestions. And here's our promise to you. If you commit to these routines or something equivalent, and if you honor that commitment, let's say for 60 days, you cannot remain the same you in the same world. When you commit to change, something cosmic happens. Commitment unleashes the power within you. Commitment steps you into a new version of you. Then your timeless context changes to match that new you. You are limited only by your imagination, and that has no limits. You are standing at the doorway to a new world. Reach out, push it open, enter. And finally, as we move into our longer discussion, just know that none of this is work. We want you to have fun with all of this. If it's not fun, change it. If it's not fun, it's not working. Just commit. Commit to believe in yourself. Commit to exhilarating changes. Commit to excitement and adventure. Commit to the idea that this can be easy if you will just believe that it can be. Commit to new habits. Commit to bringing that subconscious part of you along for the ride. Enroll that automatic decision maker as an ally in this change process. Commit to knowing and to feeling the power that you have. If you're stuck, then come talk to us and we'll help you unstick. And now, as always, we welcome your questions.
This Hangout on Air was the summary of our theme for the week. If you'd like to become a member, go to our website at theloaclub.com. Our longer discussion with Q&A continues now on our member line. Over to you, Robin and Tara.